Hello,
Fuck
hello,
Sean.
hello, and welcome to the Harambedome.
Fuck
You really
Sean.
let this happen?
What a throwback that was. What a moment. Cole, when was the first year that you did Harambedome?
Was it 3 or 4 years ago? I don't remember actually. I'll have to look at my YouTube account. Let me.
All right,
little
guys,
bit.
we're gonna have to
Well,
wrap this up soon.
We have another guest. He was mumbling something when Cole was trying to do the intro, but let him introduce himself here.
Fuck Sean, always, forever.
Hey,
I mean, that's all I gotta say.
I will agree with that.
You could say your name though too.
I am the better Sean.
You are the War Dussy of which I am the connoisseur. So
You're absolutely not, by the way.
I am, and I'm actually about to this week keep the connoisseur from actual
Ooh.
War Dussy himself.
Are you gonna eat the Wardussi from the back?
I'm gonna be the sloppy thirds. It was Va, now Jordan, and now it's my turn.
I really did get fucked back to back.
So here's a quick question: What does happen if you beat me and you get to be the War Dussy connoisseur? What does that mean?
It means as it always has. Fuck Sean on everything.
on everything. I agree. Could have said it better. This guy's my fucking hero.
It's not what you were saying when he was late.
I
He was
wasn't
never
late. Let's be clear about that. I wasn't the late one in this chat.
Portal is like Rhaenyra. He can do no wrong.
Well, welcome to episode 5 of Harambedome this season.
Segue.
Let's
This is a really tight podcast you're running here, Sean.
I had that intro when Cole got interrupted for his intro. I was kind of upset a little bit. So no, it is what it is. But
Okay, it upset me too.
we're gonna roll into this here with let's get going. This is our very first Fatal 4-Way of the season. Which was it JB who introduced the Fatal 4-Way, or was that you, Cole?
No, it was JB. I'm actually like aggressively against the idea of a fatal four-way and guests on the pod in general. If I knew that Wardle was going to be here, I probably wouldn't have shown up.
Well, surprise.
If we knew Wardle was gonna be here, then you probably wouldn't have shown up.
I probably wouldn't have been invited. It's fine. I recognize that. But no, I have a lot of like I have a lot of very specific ideas about like the meta analysis of the podcast, and a fatal four-way highly offends almost all of those ideas. But I'm happy to be here.
I want you to go in depth for it for about 45 minutes if you could.
Okay, so I'll go in depth if Sean's interested.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so one of the things about the
I gotta
podcast,
go. I gotta head out.
I'll make this really quick. So I love the podcast idea, and one of my favorite things about the podcast idea is it is just like a running like current that allows everybody to like still stay connected and everything. And one of the best parts about the podcast is like listening to the podcast and like the discussion that comes from it, like in the chat, right? And the reason that I don't necessarily like having too many guests is, there's a really limited selection of people that actually watches these. So if you have guests, the more guests you have, the few people there are to watch, which mean that like you're going to see like less views and therefore you're going to see like less discussion in the group chat because basically everybody who's going to be discussing the podcast was already on it. So
I'm concerned about the analytics of it all.
I like having like as few people on as possible generally. Like that was my strategy so that there would be like the most discussion.
Right.
That's just the thought that I had when I was originally running it.
All right, let's
Well,
run
the good news
podcast.
is it's basically like doing a 3-person podcast because Wardle doesn't listen to any of the episodes. So
That's true.
Fair. That is fair.
Jesus fucking Christ.
All right. Well then, with that said, let's roll into our first segment. Winner of the week. Guests duke it out for who goes first here. Winner of the week.
Ladies first. Wardussi. Knock yourself out.
I don't fucking know. I guess Jordan probably.
Wow, that was
That's fucking riveting commentary.
Well, what do you want me to say? I mean, like fucking 30 points from what, a second or wide receiver 3?
definitely a wide receiver
Absolutely
3.
insane.
Yeah. When I saw Gabe Davis have almost 40, I was like, yeah, that's stupid.
And it's like I was checking the score and I thought, okay, not bad. And then I checked 5 minutes later. He immediately had a 98-yard touchdown reception. Suicide was on the mind.
Jordan, is Gabe Davis a wide receiver 1?
He's busy. He's watching that
Yes.
He's- Get your eyes off that GIF for a second. Pay attention to what we're doing.
No, I'm actually got my eyes in a toilet bowl as I'm just empty in my guts right now.
Yeah?
So if you're on a schedule for that, like you imply you are, we're always doing the podcast at this time, one way or another. So does that mean?
Yes, of course. No, to answer your question, is Gabe Davis a wide receiver 1? I mean, are any other fucking wide receivers putting up 37 points in a fucking week?
I mean, I can't argue with that, and especially when you say it like that too. That's fair. All right, so basically, yeah, and then your team put up 168, which is good for what? I think the 4th highest score of the season, because the highest score of the season got shattered this week too.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, and for last highest score, basically it was me and Va tied at 170, and so now let's go ahead and lead into your winner of the week now, guest number 2.
I mean, I gave, obviously it was me. I ascended this week. Like, there's no question about it. 180.32 points. Finally, Watson has been like what he was saying came true. Like, I was supposed to be number 2 at the beginning, and I thought that my team was actually pretty good. And just for whatever reason, I could not deal with the fucking quarterback issue that I've been having. I think that me dropping all that money on Carson Wentz is going to haunt me, probably as much as it's going to haunt whoever runs the Commanders. But finally had a really good quarterback performance. And I mean, I'm not going to say the rest of my team did amazing because I'm still kind of struggling with some of my wide receivers. And Travis Kelce caught 4 touchdowns this week, but finally have a fucking win because I do think that my team's pretty good. Just been having some issues lately is all I'm going to say. But I think that hopefully with Gino at the helm, my ascension will continue.
That's fair. I mean, did you hear in the old pod the shit talking that was done about your Geno Smith ad?
I think that the Geno Smith hate extends far beyond just the pod, but into the league as well. And I think that across all spheres of football, he's being somewhat validated right now. And I'm all for it, especially because he's on my team.
Well, he is quarterback number 5 in fantasy right now in our league, so can't argue with top 5. Just can't argue with the guy on the other end who has a top 10 quarterback who you faced off against, Jared Goff. Top 10 QB in fantasy, can't argue it.
I'm sorry, how is that relevant?
Sorry, I just need to throw that in there. Just starter, he's a set it, forget it guy, Jared Goff.
Didn't they go 0-29?
Did he forget to play this week?
Yeah. What did you set?
Something like that.
I don't understand. Sean, I'm going to need you to qualify this opinion because I'm
set it and forget it.
Wrong.
Listen, I just got to say that Jared Goff is, to this point, a top 10 fantasy quarterback, and Aaron Rodgers is just outside the top 15, about almost 10 slots below. if Ted wants a consistent 20 points each week, then he'll start Aaron. But if he wants the chance for some boom with the opportunity for some bust, which is what it's going to look like it's going to be going forward, then he'll start Goff. So maybe just start
I think
Goff
the
on his
Lions
good
are
weeks.
dead.
Yeah, you can hold that
I
opinion.
think Goff's done.
Do you take Goff or do you take Geno Smith right now?
Geno Smith.
Geno.
That's a dumb question.
I was wrong about Geno, and my comments in the past do not reflect my current opinion. I trashed the Geno Smith addition or claim, what have you, and I was wrong. Since me trashing Geno, he's had a 39-point week and a 35-point week. I mean, give the man his flowers. He's got a glass jaw, but he can sling the ball.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I was definitely wrong about the Geno Smith ad in fantasy for sure. We trashed that too much. I think that was Brendan on the pod with us when we were talking about that. All three of us trashed it, so definitely wrong on that front. But what about, does that stand for, if we're talking you have an NFL team, are you taking Geno Smith or Jared Goff, fantasy aside?
Is this a fantasy pod or is this an NFL pod?
I was just asking the question.
Probably still Goff.
I was gonna say I'd probably pick Goff at that point.
I don't want a Lion on my team.
Well, I mean, he's not a Lion. I mean, he's just whatever team you have in that scenario. So
I don't want a Lion on my team.
Once a Lion, always a Lion.
Yeah, you do bring that losing culture wherever you go.
that's all right. So my winner of the week, considering there's 4 of us and only 5 games to pick, my winner of the week, since we already had one pick himself, which is the first time this season, and then we had
Congratulations.
one pick, the person who smacked him. I'm gonna go
which is big of him. I'll give him credit.
Fair. I'm gonna go ahead and go the route of actually crowning my winner of the week as now newly named, formerly Anime Thighs Save Lives, now Broncos Country, Let's Ride, Matt, with the toilet bowl victory. I'm giving him the toilet bowl victory the winner of the week because both people scored under 100. Both their highest scores, actually, I think the highest score for Brendan was his quarterback. Just barely, by 0.12 points. It was his quarterback. But yeah, I mean, all around, not a great game. When you're putting up under 100, that is tough. The Young Ho Koo put up 0. Matt actually had 2 goose eggs in his lineup, where Brennan had none, but Brennan had 3 one-pointers in his kicker, his wide receiver, and his tight end, Hawkinson. But yeah, I mean, when your team performs, at that low of a level and you pull out the win, you get great luck that week. And so now Follow Spike sits at 1-4, and Broncos Country actually leaves this game with a winning record. So I'll give him one of the week for that.
Yeah, I mean, terrible matchup in terms of both their teams just shit the bed. But they still wouldn't have lost to Teddy Boy, sadly. Neither of them.
This is true.
But it was a good dub by Broncos Country riding.
Yep. Who you got?
Well, I'm going to slide my dub of the week to Dr. Lieutenant Vava, a.k.a. Spider Perry. I mean, what are you going to do when Josh Allen puts up 52 points? The Raiders are finally running Josh Jacobs to the bone like they should. He puts up a clean 30. And then, the rest of his team doesn't do incredible, aside from that defense putting up 15 and the kicker putting up 16. But when you got a couple guys that can carry your squad, I mean, you get a chance to put up 152. And it's not like JB's team did terrible. I mean, obviously Lamar performed below expectation, but Devontae kind of popped off. Alvin Kamara did his thing. Tyler Conklin, that sucks. Dolphins defense, that sucks. But nice 18 from your kicker. I mean, yeah, this is a painful L, especially seeing 45 points on the bench. But shout out to Dr. Lieutenant.
Oh, and those 45 points, that's the win. That's a 45-point swing because Conklin put up 0.
Correct.
And Hill's in the tight end. That's literally the game.
Are
But
they
who's-
keeping Taysom Hill in the tight end position?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he's still labeled as tight end.
Wasn't that like a big issue like last season though? Like that
Yeah,
one
but I'm
game where
pretty
you were
sure
able
his
to.
actual roster designation for the Saints is tight end.
Well, yeah. I'm just thinking, like, how does that not just like continue to break the game functionally? If you have somebody who's going to flex position, because like we kind of saw the same thing at like Loki at like Debo, right? I don't know if that was as big of an issue with like fantasy, but I mean, if you have Jesus, if you have somebody who's going to be in the tight end slot and you run into QBs, like that's disgusting. I mean, they can't do anything about it, but like.
No, I mean, he doesn't actually play QB. Like, I mean, he gets back there mainly for wildcat shit, just running the ball. And if you look at his scoring, this is obviously by far his best week, but only one other week of being in the double digits. So, I mean,
Yeah, I mean, don't want to read too much in on just like a single performance, but makes me think about like Jesus, Taysom Hill being the pickup. When was he picked up? Was he always on the bench?
I think he
Pretty sure JB
ended
grabbed
up picking him.
He was
Yeah, he-
added for $5 in September, a month ago.
Yeah. Okay, so it's not like it was a recent pickup.
No,
No,
he
not
had him-
really.
He had him, I think, after the 15-point game he had. I think he picked him up.
That makes sense.
But watch, next week he'll add him to his lineup, and Taysom Hill will score jack shit. He won't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'll be tough. All right. So let's hit our losers of the week. Who are we crowning loser of the week? Wardle.
It's not looking good for Ted here.
No, it is not.
Like twice his fucking score. More than. So I'm gonna go with Ted. Sorry, Ted. But any week where you still have your defense score double digits and it's that low is a real shame.
Yeah. And I mean, to piggyback on it, because it's also my loser of the week, it's not like other matchups where you look at the bench and you're like, oh, if he would have put this guy in, it could have been close. If he would have put this guy in, he might have won. Like, there's just all across the board. Not good. Not
I
fucking
think if
good.
you swapped out the right people, he would still have less than or almost half the score.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was compounded by low snapping, but the fact that his best lineup, I haven't calculated it, so I'm speaking out my ass, but his best lineup wouldn't break 100. That's painful.
Yeah, his best lineup.
I'm gonna go ahead and act like what I said was correct without fact checking. So
I'm gonna fact check you. No, you're pretty much right. He would like just be under. It'd be like 99 points or something like that.
yeah, so
Roughly.
you kind of wasted your time, but because what I said initially was fact. But
Maybe Ted will do some magician math and he'll prove us wrong in the chat later. Make me right.
but yeah, I just want to extend this to Ted. Your team looks like it needs help. Hit me up. We can chat. We can talk.
What are you gonna
Things-
do? Take Cooper
Things
Kupp?
get brighter. Take Cooper Kupp.
Is that what you're gonna do?
What are you saying, dude?
Or are you gonna take Aaron? You want Aaron?
Oh, I want Aaron. Look at me. Of course I want Aaron.
What would you be willing to give Ted for Aaron?
Like I said, Ted, let's discuss some options. You would not. Something will go down. Something freaky.
All right. Cole, you got a loser of the week?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Follow Spike. Kind of a rough week. I mean, he lost against Broncos Countryless Ride. I know we were just talking about how it was like the toilet bowl. But losing Tua really sucks. James Conner is questionable at this point. DJ Chark is out. Butker's questionable. Bateman's questionable. His team's looking kind of banged up right now. Kind of getting, reminiscent of some of the issues that JB had to face last year. I know he's probably going to be really mad when he hears that. But like, at a certain point, it do be getting really rough. You only have one IR slot. I know Justin Herbert's usually a stud. Didn't really put up too much, just kind of across the board. It looks like it was pretty rough. So a lot of his bench slots are being taken up by people who aren't even able to be on the field. And like you had Michael Carter, who did fairly well with like 17 points, and the New York Jets had like a really good backfield game in general that game. So I'm not sure if that's going to be something that's like sustained, but like I'm not really looking at a lot of upside for Follow Spike's team right now, other than like Marquise Brown, who stays winning. Like, not looking at a fantastic upside. Being 1-4, he already doesn't have like a really good buffer. So definitely looking like Follow Spike's potentially not spiking anymore.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. And Marquise Brown, to your point, because he's been, I think, wide receiver 5. I only know this, or I guess 6 right now. I only know this because I have Hopkins suspended, but Hopkins comes back after next week.
Oh shit, really?
That's going to eat. I don't know how much. I mean, that was what they were talking about on fantasy, was how much is Hopkins going to eat into Marquise Brown since he's done this well. But I mean, he's going to eat into his target some way. At least.
Oh, I'm sure a lot. I'm sure significantly he will.
Yeah. So.
Or will he just take away those targets from those lower level guys?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, because like, if you have Hopkins back, and talking out of my ass, but if you have Hopkins back, it will technically free up Brown. So theoretically, he'll continue to do as well. Don't want to say he'll do better, but like, if you're bumping down wide receiver 3 because you're adding Hopkins back, having one person who takes up like all that space on the field theoretically could make your other players better. So I don't know how much worse he's going to do. But like, I don't know if he's necessarily going to do a whole hell of a lot better.
Yeah. Well.
And like, I don't know. It's a bit concerning looking at all the red letters all over his roster.
He does have a lot of injuries, doesn't he? How many questionables does he have? A few. Oh, let's go to his page. Follow Spike.
Hey, is Sean usually this low energy in the podcast?
Oh my god, dude! I feel like telling him to jump on TRT every time we hop on a pod.
Whoa. Hey, you would know my energy level if you listen to the podcast every week.
If this is a fucking glimpse of it, I don't think I want to.
No.
Dude, it is the lowest of all energies.
It sounds like he got a diagnosis right before this. He just hopped right on the call.
Got a call from his doctor or started conversation with, "Are you sitting?"
All right, listen. So I'm gonna jump into my loser of the week here.
Please do.
Slay the king.
Please jump
Slay the
into
king.
your loser.
Yeah, I think I will. I think I will slay the king. Actually, loser of the week this week is another one of our members who put up less than a hundo. Okay. Didn't help. No, obviously, in fantasy, there's nothing you can do about it personally, but he got walloped on the other end by Gabe Davis, specifically putting up almost 40.
Demolished.
Yep. Well, Ramondre Stevenson and Dalvin Cook both did well. But that makes it hurt even more. because you had two running backs pop off for over 20, and then Gerald Everett. Now you have Kyle Pitts hurt, and Everett was the replacement, 0.7. Robert Woods is the replacement for Keenan Allen, 5.7, and then Tyreek obviously playing with he's at a third string quarterback right now.
Yeah, and he's
Right.
also hurt.
So Andy's hurt, so injury bug is definitely hitting hard here. The Packers defense, because the Giants, I guess, are just legit.
Did not see that coming.
And so that's definitely.
Well, aren't
2
the
points.
Jets also? Wait, aren't both like New York teams like? Aren't the Jets undefeated?
No,
They.
I could have
won a
sworn
game.
the Jets were 5-0.
no, the
I'm-
only
I'm-
5-0 team is the Eagles.
Ah, fuck. No, you're right. Yeah, I mean similar colors. My bad.
Yeah, I can understand the confusion.
Yeah, but I'd say all in all, just because of the gap in score difference, and then the not being able to put up not 100 with two running backs popping off. Kyler, I guess, underperforming, but Philadelphia's defense is good. Fantasy wise, they only gave me 3, but like the actual Philadelphia defense in real life is solid. So 20 points was pretty good. I guess it was close to his projection. But yeah, you go under 100 with two running backs putting up in the 20s. That's tough business.
Yeah,
And so the King is slayed back to back.
can't really defend that one. I mean, even if Kyle Pitts is playing, it's not like Atlanta's doing anything on fucking offense. So
No.
Yeah,
Now,
but I did. Go ahead.
is Dak the man for you when he gets back?
no, I'm actually hoping fucking Hopkins is the man for me, and they get figure out that offense a little better because Kyler looks lost out there in the first half every game.
Yeah, I haven't watched much Cardinals, but yeah, it's because what's Kyler's best game been for you this so far?
He hasn't been like bad. His
Is it the
best
new Modern
game has
Warfare?
been 29 points, but it's just the first half of every game he's at best like 12 points and under.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's yet to put up over 30, which you'd expect. A little fucking gingerbread man to put up 30 at least.
And then you have, on the other end when you're playing QB4 and Jalen Hurts, Derrick Henry is back to form. Should have traded him to me for Rashad Penny earlier in the season like I wanted.
Yeah. Oh, like you wanted. Ooh.
But yeah, on the other end, there's just not much you could have done anyway. I think if it weren't for the ascending of the Loesch, wouldn't you have been the highest scorer of the week this week, Jordan?
Send him.
I don't really look at like who's scoring the highest. I just focus on my matchup, make sure I get the dub, and move on from there.
That's the humble answer. Of course, because when you look at the highest,
You want the real answer? My real answer was I was praying that Travis Kelce dropped an absolute egg, but then he decides to score 4 touchdowns on 25 yards.
Yeah, it's
you
pretty
only had
fucking awesome.
25 yards.
Yes.
Red zone threat, baby.
Holy shit! I didn't even see that. That's nuts.
Zone fucking threat.
Yeah, the Chiefs really only use Clyde or fucking Kelsey to get in the end zone.
Jeez, yeah, and that's why Clyde didn't do much because he didn't get the touchdowns this game.
He's not that good. He just happens to keep finding himself in good positions, I think.
Clyde or Kels?
Clyde.
Okay, I was
Kelce
gonna
is
say
definitely
what?
that good.
I was gonna say what?
No, not Kelsey. But Clyde just keeps on finding himself in the end zone on like small dump off passes. So
Oh.
Hopefully this matchup between me and the King was a preview of what's going to happen this week between Bills and the Chiefs.
hey, speaking of Bills, how do you feel about that little CMC rumor?
I don't know. As long as we don't have to give up too much for a guy that's perpetually injured,
That's fair.
I wouldn't be too upset.
Wait, there's a CMC rumor going on with the Bills?
Yeah.
Supposedly we reached out, but I feel like every team is going to reach out and inquire about CMC. Like
Yeah,
if you're
that's
doing
pretty
your due
standard.
diligence.
Yeah.
Do you think that Panthers are blowing it up?
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. Like because
They fired their
Fucking-
coach. They don't got a QB. I mean,
Mayfield
How could they
fucking
not?
sucking.
How could they
Yeah.
not at this point? Because
Yeah.
I could see DJ Moore getting shipped off too. Because I know he's not old, but he's like at that age where it's like if you're heading into a rebuild, you can get something for DJ Moore right now, and he's a decent receiver, but he's 20. Oh, he's 25, so maybe you could still build around that. I actually can't believe DJ Moore's 25. I thought he was more like 27, 8. But yeah, no, I definitely think they'll start blowing it up at some point. I think especially getting closer. I don't know about closer to playoffs, but somewhere in this season at some point there's going to be probably a couple Panthers traded. I'd say.
I'd be surprised if Robbie Anderson doesn't get traded either.
Oh, that's another one. Yeah, because he's an older receiver at like 27 or 28.
Yeah, they're not.
Him and Baker are real close.
Baker and who are close?
Robbie.
They are?
No, in the offseason when there were rumors of Baker going to the Panthers, Robbie had some tweet where it was like basically showing that he was upset that they could get Baker.
Didn't he say like he said like no or something like that because he said
some shit like that, yeah.
Quarterback. Yeah.
And I mean, you look at how much he's actually targeted in these games; it's like nothing.
Yeah.
I know. I thought I was so smart picking him up after week 1, and then he hasn't done jack shit. And I keep checking in to see how he does. Nothing. So
Yeah, no.
I mean, he could. Do you think? Would you want him on the Chiefs if the Chiefs traded for him?
I don't think there's a point. I mean, we don't really get hard carried by any receivers that much as much anymore. MVS is already the deep threat. We got Juju and Hardman to bail out. So
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
I think the Lions pick him up.
No, I think we have Jamison Williams coming back, our rookie, who's going to be our outside guy. So I don't think we need a Robbie Anderson. Especially I don't think we need to give anything else for him. But Lion's going to Lion, so we might just trade for him. Who knows?
Hey, before we move on, though, I would like to pay some homage to the winning streak that was Bums R Us coming to an end this week. It's tough because I predicted him to win, so now my streak this year of being perfect on my predictions, my icy hot takes, has ended. But he will bounce back. The shrimp will bounce back.
It always does, even if it's just a couple of inches.
Correct.
I think you and the shrimp must have something behind closed doors going on because I'm messaging you about who's going to be on this, over the couple days, and you're like, when's Shrimp going to be on? Where's Shrimp?
Listen, that's my boy. That's my dog. We some dogs. He's a chat boy. I'm just trying to get the chat boys on here.
Aren't we all chat boys in here?
Yeah. No, we are.
Chat boys are open to everybody, right? That's
Yeah.
Okay, with how much Ward Dussey is mentioned, I feel like I should at least get honorary chat boy.
No, you are a chat boy. There's certain membership tiers. That's all.
What are they decided by?
There's tiers.
What are the tiers decided by?
What are the tiers decided by? I don't know. If you have a sad day, sometimes you shed more tears.
What about milky tears?
Jesus fucking Christ.
It's not like a cool kids club type tier, is it?
Well, officially, no.
Thank you, Loge. Officially, no. But if we're speaking off the record, yes, it's exactly like that.
Sean, pause the recording real quick.
Oh my god. I don't know how to pause it.
No, don't pause it. Let's
he doesn't know how to start it.
Rolling.
I just
Jesus fucking Christ.
All right, listen. I do want to also, before we move on, one last thing, pay homage to another, number one Lamar stan who took an L, but also.
Wait, is it homage or homage?
I just copied.
See, I have a lot of isms, so I just say things, and then if I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
Okay. What do you mean by a lot of isms?
Like,
Wait, hold on. That's a good question.
Like instead of umbilical, I say umbiblical. Like that little cord that connects to the baby.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
No,
I just sometimes say things incorrectly, and I mean, do I mean to do it? No, but like I think it was Lady Gaga once said, "I was born this way."
That's inspiring.
Can you say that with those calf implants in right now?
Listen, don't you dare come at me. I do this to make my self-esteem higher. You're gonna fucking come at me.
You're picking up the new Holmgrens, right?
The new what?
The Chet Holmgren Kevs.
No, I see those are prone to injury, so I'm staying away from those.
That's fair. All right, Sean, come on. Let's build up this energy a bit. Come
Yeah,
on.
sorry. JB also lost his main source of points this week that wasn't on his bench to an assault. We had one of his wide receivers now get charges officially pressed against him for assault. And so he's going to be losing one Devontae Adams for who knows how long because Devontae Adams decided to assault someone.
I can't believe he did it either.
Dude, he's walking. I mean, what are you supposed to do? You see a man that looks like Hunter Renfrow who just blew the game for you. You're like, get the fuck out of my way.
Do you think he thought it was Hunter?
I think he just saw white skin and thought just bad thoughts, just fury.
What if
Saw
fucking
smaller-
Raiders lose that game?
Oh, dude, because he was gone. That was a tutty.
Well,
But let's not, hold on real quick. Let's not just underestimate the ability of Derek Carr to blow situations like that. That could have been a terrible throw.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
both fucking
that's fair.
teams' decisions to go for two was interesting, at least.
Very.
for the win.
Didn't work out that way.
No, but that's Raiders football. 1-4. Right, they are 1-4. I think so.
They are.
Yeah.
All right, so our matchup of the week 6. Let's get it rolling.
Wardle.
Thank you. Matchup. I'm gonna vote for myself because I want to take the fucking Lions bitch out.
Oh!
A fake king making fake promises.
I want to take him out. Look, it's a lowly king, all right?
We'll change your name then, the lowly king of the West.
That's not necessary because you're going to be polishing the scepter this week, buddy.
So
The
I
question
will
is,
ask
who
this
does
again.
Kneecap start?
What
Captain
happens
Kirk or Pat?
if you become the Wardussi connoisseur? What does that mean?
What does it mean to begin with? None of y'all have gotten even a whiff of it. Well, probably a whiff, but
I've held on to it for 5 straight.
I haven't gotten a
weeks
whiff
now.
of it. It's sneaking in your room while you're sleeping, bro.
how can you say you've held on to fucking shit, dude? You haven't even played me.
All I've been doing is grabbing it.
No, not at all.
Oh, you got a lot of money?
Yeah. Just
Are you
grabbing
famous? You can just grab Wardussi?
it.
It's just classic locker room talk from a fucking high school teacher again.
Oh, here we go. I just gotta say that, yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. I'm looking forward to keeping the Wardussi connoisseur title from the Wardussi himself. So
Thing is, when you got a lot of money, the owners of Wardussi are just like, yeah, I think that'll do. Yeah, that'll do.
All right, I don't need fucking Tim Robinson to fuck me up right now.
and you're going against your boy Mahomie this week.
I know.
Are you starting him or are you starting Kirk?
Oh, that's a tough call.
And you get that stack with J. Jeff.
Yeah, I think I'd rather have. Listen, I know it's Buff. I know it's.
Oh,
the
you'd
Buff.
rather. Oh, you. Okay. No, go ahead.
No, yeah, I think it's I know it's Buff, but I think that Mahomes is going to do to you guys similar to what he did in the playoffs, and so he's going to have a big game, and then on top of that, Wardle gets to have his favorite quarterback be slinging it against him. So I think it's a win-win for me.
I'm him.
I'm him.
My matchup of the week.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, please.
My
fucking
matchup
schedule
of
it.
the week.
Jeez.
Yeah, I'm getting host flashbacks. Is Living in Babylon versus yours truly. We'll see if I can stay ascended.
Bunch of fucking
Take down-
narcissists in this.
take
I
down
mean,
young- young
exactly.
Babylon.
Is everybody picking their own matchup?
Yeah, these
You goddamn
narcissists
right.
in this pod.
You goddamn right.
All right,
So-
explain.
I mean, I'm coming off of being 0-4. I'm now 1-4. It's not a divisional matchup. Obviously, I'm in the West. He's in the East. and that's good to know. But like, if I win, he goes to 3-3, so there's no longer a winning record, and I can hopefully start/continue my comeback. But if I lose, I'm in very dire straits. I will be 1-5 at that point. And again, like six weeks in, 1-5, really starting to get to the point of no return there. We're not even halfway through the season, but that's a pretty colossal thing to have to crawl back from, especially as an individual who admits that he relies very heavily on his opening draft compared to making really good waiver wire pickups. It would not be good for me, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably be lying if I said I wasn't a little nervous, especially with no Derrick Henry, no Damian Pierce on my bench for moral support. This just feels like a trap game from our boys. I hope they don't get too cocky. Trade who to you?
Damian Pierce.
Yeah, send me an offer.
All right.
Actually, better yet, I'll send you an offer.
You want Zeke? Oh yeah, you send me an offer. Let's do it live.
Yeah.
Right now.
Dude, that's one thing that the pod has never seen. Have we ever seen a live trade on the pod?
Oh, he doesn't listen. He doesn't listen to the pod.
Because I haven't listened to the last two, unfortunately.
Oh well, there actually was a live trade on the pod between me and Ted.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's fucking true.
Actually, that's right. There were two. Oh my lord,
this is embarrassing.
Yeah, they were worthless trades. You just traded the same players right back.
What are you talking about, dude? Cole
retired.
Beasley?
And then one of them retired.
Correct. So yeah, I got fleeced. What do you want me to do?
Look, just send me a trade. Let's make a real one happen. The one that actually counts.
All right, it's happening.
All right, I'll read off what you send me.
Okay. You can feel free to do that.
All right. Well, while you're doing that, why don't you also give us your matchup of the week?
Well, I am incapable of multitasking, so I'm going to go ahead and send that trade and then go back to the scoreboard.
Proposed trade. What do we got?
You've been having hot diarrhea while talking on this podcast all day.
Dude, there's a reason I exclusively buy Depends. Okay? I have hot diarrhea 10 hours of the day, and I'm awake only for 12 hours.
I'm supposed to trade Nick Chubb and Justin Jefferson for Damian Pierce and Cortland Sutton.
Hey, listen, Russ just had that surgery. Cortland Sutton's on the rise, bro. He's on the fucking rise. And Damian Pierce, you wanted him for a while, so.
No trade today. Rejected.
Okay, that's strange how you ask me to offer you a trade and then you don't accept. But my matchup of the week is Broncos country.
Oh.
Let's ride. Versus Thomas, this spank engine. And why is this my matchup of the week? Well, because right now, obviously Russ has been pooping the bed. Trevor Lawrence doesn't look like that much of a better option. I think this is a chance for the spank engine to pick up a dub against a team that is 3-2, which would look good for young spank engine. He really needs Swift to come back sooner rather than later. He's also making a critical error by starting the Rams defense over the Bills defense. So now I'm thinking Broncos country is going to take the dub, even though he's projected for less.
What a switch.
So Broncos country, let's ride.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean he's starting Aaron Rodgers when Goff is on his team, so what can you?
Oh, he is starting Aaron.
Yeah.
All right, well now I'm thinking of spanking the engine.
And well listen. Goff may be on a bye week, but he's a set it and forget it. Like you don't touch that spot the rest of the season, including the bye.
Yeah, on your bench, right?
No, like in your starting quarterback lineup. So
my
icy hot
that didn't really make sense to me.
Look, Ted needs to stick with Goff. If he sticks with Aaron long term, he might lose this league. That was my icy hot a few weeks ago. So that one is a long term season one. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, so let's not declare it a winner just yet.
Oh no, it's not a winner or a loser.
Most likely a loser.
No. Well, right now, Broncos country is looking actually interesting. Broncos country has a tight end on a bye week, but then didn't pick up a tight end to replace him.
Huh.
Is Matt alive?
It's almost like you can do that even beyond Wednesday.
That's that's a great point. All right. Well, I'll throw in here my matchup of the week that I'm looking forward to. I'll have to say who's left. Who's left? We already had toilet bowl. Which is it fair to call follow? I'm sorry. Is it fair to call the one that you just picked, Broncos country and Spank Engine, the toilet bowl this week?
I mean, looking at the projections, yes, you would think toilet bowl, but Broncos country's 3-2, so does he
Yeah.
belong in a toilet bowl?
Yeah, that's fair. I think the one that I'm looking at here is my matchup of the week is actually going to be between Bums Are Us and Dr. Lieutenant Vava,
AKA,
aka Spider Potty.
thank you.
And I like this one. A solid Tuck Viva. Tuck looking to bounce back to go 500 and take down the gauntlet
Oh,
that is
God.
Va.
The
What's
thought
that?
of Tuck being 500 is just disgusting.
Well, he's right. He's close to it. So,
I know it's awful.
and if he takes down Va, because Va has one, we were talking about again. First pod of the season was who's got the best drafted teams, and we were both talking about Va. And Va's looking like he's got Jonathan Taylor back in the lineup. He's got Kenneth Walker now that Rashad Penny's down. That could end up being a real good pickup with Josh Jacobs on the bye, like a good replacement at least for this week. And then on the other end, so it's a Joe Burrow versus Josh Allen. I like that. And Austin Eckler has picked himself back up. I witnessed it last week, and he's been doing it for like 2 weeks now. Mark Andrews too. So I don't know. I just think it could be high scoring. I think Va wants to keep up with having a shot at the best record, and I think that Tuck obviously wants to get a streak going again. So I like this one. It's decently high projected too, especially when Tuck put someone in for Jamal Williams. So
Yeah,
I think it'll be a good one
yes,
to look
it
at.
should be a good matchup.
Yeah. So that leads us into the next segment, which is our offers report, looking at the waiver wire. How is it duked out this week? The waiver wire segment,
The best segment.
not to be beat by the budget segment, but let's look at the waiver wire segment. Not much going on actually so far. I thought there would be a lot more going on. Actually, after dropping $17 on Jacoby Myers, I was really hoping someone offered something, so I wouldn't get obliterated for dropping that money.
I think you'll still get obliterated, but continue.
I put $6 on him.
You put $8 on him.
Oh,
yes,
sorry,
let's
wait.
not lie about how much money we put on people because we have record right here.
Yeah, like I remember.
So we had $8 on Jacoby from the King, the lowly King, and then we have the Spank Engine adding the Rams D for 2. No other claim on the Rams D. Then the unsuccessful. Look at Ted trying to grab 2 defenses. The Bengals D for $1 didn't go through because he already added a defense. And then
It's all strat.
It's all it is.
He didn't get the Rams. He wanted the Bengals. But he's got a defense on his bench.
Yeah, so what's going on?
I'm not going to get into it. He doesn't have faith in the defense that he drafted.
No, he doesn't. The Bills, are they the number 1 defense? They've got to be close.
Yeah, I don't know that for sure. I would assume probably like the Cowboys are number 1.
Yeah, I think they got to be close, yeah. So,
Yeah, boy.
And then San
West.
Fran.
Cowboys are actually number 3. Heads up. Yeah.
King of the West is trying to solve his tight end woes with Hayden Hurst.
It's just streaming
Wow.
tight ends at this point.
Incoming pop-off week for Kyle Pitts.
If he plays, and I doubt it.
Why are they on a bye?
No, because Mariota is the fucking quarterback, and they like running the ball.
True.
Yeah,
Yeah, number one defense in the league is the Niners, and then the Bills, and then the
too.
Cowgirls.
I just saw that. Yeah, and then finally I added Ryan. Is it Succop or is it Suckup?
I think it's Sakoop.
Succop. All right, Ryan
it's Suckup.
Succop. Well, $0 ad because my kicker's on a bye. So, and that wraps.
Why
up.
don't you just drop your other kicker?
I think I'll hang on to Carlson. He's been the number one kicker so far. Speaking of winning the kicker battle, number one kicker in the league, Daniel Carlson.
Why don't you pick up Fat Randy?
I was tempted, but then I just went by rankings. Who's the higher? I know the Gug was there too, but I just wasn't feeling the Gug, so I just went.
It's when he strikes.
You can
When you're not
go
feeling him.
yourself.
It's the Gug,
It do be the Gug.
He do be gugging.
Because
He do be Guggin.
Where is Fat Randy?
He's on a bye week.
So he would have been a great.
Probably on an
ad.
island somewhere, just living it up. Oh,
Fat Randy style.
I envy his life.
I just gave anybody actually watching the video a nice pic of Fat Randy here. His little face on the ESPN app. All right, let's move into the long-awaited, everyone's favorite. You love it if you pretend to hate it. The budget summary. All right, Jordan, you want to do the budget summary? Tell us what everybody's got.
All right, at $100, we got Brendan Lash at $100, Follow Spike at $100.
$100? Oh no, 1 and 4 with $100.
Yeah. And then not too far behind him is, looks like me at $96.
Go a little bit lower.
Oh, we also got King of Oh my gosh, he hasn't spent $1.
Honestly, I've been trying to. People keep dropping like 12, 17, shit like that.
Okay, so not for lack of effort.
Yeah.
Anytime you
But
try
the
to
king
spend
at
money, someone drops an obscene amount.
At 100. Okay, and then I think it's me at 96. Then you got Dr. Lieutenant Spider Perry, Spider Potty at 95. Looking like the number one Lamar stan still got $90 in his bank account. And then what is lower than 90 but higher than the rest? You look at the Spank engine at $78. I still don't know who I've done and who I haven't done. Sended Loesch chilling at $71.
They're dropping an obscene amount of money on Carson fucking Wentz.
Yeah, it's interesting. And then we got the Cuck Mish at $68.
Let's get it.
Moving on down, it's looking like Bums Are Us sitting at a cool 60. And then I think I've gone through everybody except the person with the least amount of money sitting at $59, Mr. Broncos Country. Let's ride.
Thank you for the pause.
Now, are we allowed to say it like that when he didn't add a comma in there?
I'm just gonna assume that the comma's implied.
Can you imply a comma or can you just put one?
I don't know, fucking teacher. You tell us.
Yeah, why don't you tell us?
I'm an English teacher.
Oh,
so
wait, hold on.
Are we also gonna get on him for not having an apostrophe in Let's Ride? I mean, come on.
Tell us in the most monotone voice you can, Sean.
Welcome to Harambedome. I'm your host, Sean.
Sean, why are you doing the intro again?
Matt, work on your grammar.
Anyways, you can't say Broncos Country. Let's ride without the pause.
How long of a pause are you allowed to have?
Yeah, that was a pretty fucking long pause.
I mean, if you watch
do the longest pause appropriate right now.
The longest pause appropriate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Broncos country.
And then end the podcast right now.
Let's ride.
No, I'd say that was an appropriate length.
Well, I had someone speak during my pause, which prolonged the pause because I had to process what he was saying.
So it would have been shorter then.
Slightly shorter.
Can
It's
you
just,
give us
it's
an
whatever.
example of what's too long?
What's too long?
Yeah.
Broncos country. Let's ride.
But yeah, that was way
Yeah.
too long.
Yeah,
Not
see,
long enough, I think.
there's a
Oh, did you get that a lot, Ward?
there's a certain balance.
What is long enough for you, Wardle?
You'd like to know, wouldn't you?
What
bitch boy?
satisfies the
No, I
Wardos?
think it would actually
boy.
just upset me if I knew.
All it takes
sure
is
it
a lot
would.
of money. And the Wardussy is just sitting there like, yeah, I think that'll do. Yeah, I think that'll do.
Did you just rewatch that recently?
It keeps coming up on my feed.
All right, let's.
All right, Sean, let's go, please.
Yeah. All right.
Holy
Let's
shit.
move into
No,
the.
we all got all night.
Oh shit! We're there.
The
We're at
next
it.
part of the podcast comes the end.
It's time for
I was
the
shocked.
icy hot take, sponsored by who?
Who is it sponsored by anymore?
Shaquille O'Neal.
Shaquille O'Neal. And now, Jordan, tell us what you had to do this week to keep the sponsorship with Shaq.
Well, he actually said he was coming by your place to see about your payment. I don't know if you were there, who was there at the time that he came by, but
Holy shit.
Yeah,
Shaq
he
just
got payment.
Shaq got feline AIDS.
Shaq might
Shaq may have
gotten
feline AIDS.
Shaq. Now, so you got Shaq, and now you have Magic, and so it's like, there you go. That's two of them. That's two Laker greats.
It's tragic.
Well, let's get some icy hots in there. Anybody got a good one they want to start with?
We'll let Wardle go first.
Oh my god. My icy hot take is Sean will not increase his energy at any point at all throughout this whole fucking podcast.
Wow.
Wow, that is a very energetic take, Wardle.
Wow.
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 I might just prove that icy hot take right.
You're doing it right now.
I might continue to do it.
Jesus Christ.
My icy hot take. My icy hot take is that Follow Spike will end this league with more than $97.
Ooh, a little budget
Probably-
icy hot.
It's probably not. He might end it with $100.
Yeah, it's entirely possible.
Yeah, I think that's possible. My icy hot take is Jameis Winston will score more points than Hamar Haksan this week. And Lamar Stan will be staring at his bench and just be like, why? I'm still winning, but why didn't I put Winston in? He eats W's.
I do hope that comes true.
All right, my icy hot take. I know you guys you're gonna love this. The other two that aren't involved in this icy hot take. For who was the winner of the Morgan Bowl? That I had
JB.
JB at this point. Yeah,
I am 1-4.
Right. So the winner of the Morgan Bowl, the very confident in his team, winning record, JB, is gonna end the season. I'm not saying anything about playoffs, not playoffs, whatever. Gonna end the season with less wins than the ascended Loesch.
Wow.
I'm here for it. I'm here for
Our
it.
live Sean reaction. Wow.
This is podcast energy.
I mean,
That is a great take.
I am going to win the whole league, so.
Now you've gone.
Yeah, now-
Take right there.
Now you've gone overboard.
And
Yeah,
left
there
the
you go.
podcast.
Wardle, why don't you make that your icy hot take?
Because I don't want that to be my icy hot take.
Do you have a real icy hot take?
Mine was real enough. No, I
What
don't
was
have
yours
it.
again?
What's an icy hot take?
I literally
Icy hot
don't
take.
even
I think
remember
Kyle
the
Pitts is going to be
icy hot
worse
take.
second tight end in fantasy.
Whoa! What'd you just say?
I think Kyle Pitts is going to end up being the worst fucking tight end in fantasy.
Well, now, is this among starting tight ends or like among every tight end?
No,
And not only that,
starting
but
tight
do you
end.
have
Okay.
a camera in his bedroom to make sure that he's like the worst at fucking among tight ends?
No, I know. Trust me. He's got the money for it. I know.
All right, well then let's lead it into our final mini segment here, the Watson standing, sponsored by Snicker. Maybe the team just needs a Snickers. All right, so let's take a look at
He's so good.
what's Watson's projecting here. We've got I don't see many changes from the last time we talked about it. Still living in Babylon, up to 3. Va fell to 2. I'm at 1. Lamar Stan moved up to 5. Is that different than last week?
I don't know, to be honest.
You're doing the segment if you don't even know.
Hey, listen, we do this segment
What are you
together.
talking about, dude?
This is
Bro, Sean,
cohesive.
it sounds like you need a fucking Snickers.
I did notice that for a little bit of time, Vava was back at 1. You were at 2, but now it looks like that has changed again.
Yeah, what
I
makes
feel like
Watson switch every 5 minutes?
I don't know.
I don't know.
You can't understand. You got to ask Sweet Blake to find out. That guy that was banging on Lambda.
Well,
Maybe he's got some connection to Watson.
Watson's putting Thomas the spank engine at 10.
Yeah, it's not too shocking.
And the Ascended Lows
Considering
actually
his-
dropped 2 spots after winning. But I think that's just because of who they had to move ahead.
Yeah. I still don't see how Watson sees ascending Loesch and finishing at 4. But
Dude, if I had a good quarterback for the first couple games, I would be in such a good fucking position right now. Like, I just need to fix that one spot, and I'm fucking golden. And
Have
I'm
you
working
looked at
on
Carson
it.
Wentz?
What?
Have you looked at Carson Wentz?
yo, he might be worth dropping like $40 on.
It was 23. Thank you very much.
The good thing about dropping 23 though is that no one else put any offers in, so you were definitely getting them.
Well, now that this segment's wrapped, are there any final words amongst the guests? The other co-host? What do we got?
We
Final
swapped Sean
words.
out for a new host.
Hey, I'm a co-host. I'm not the host. There are 2 co-hosts this season.
Still
So
a
you're the
host.
sub in the relationship?
No, we're both co-hosts.
Yeah, I'd say we're both co-hosts. Yeah,
how is-
I'd say we're both co-hosts.
I guess Loesch and Wardle movie podcast coming when Loesch gets his head out of his ass.
Dude,
Hey,
I watched
we-
Barbarian. It was so fucking good.
Hold on. I don't think we agreed to a little, any advertising at the end of this. I don't think that was
Yeah,
I
this
think
is
you just
kind
need a
of
fucking
to honor
Snickers, Sean.
Harambe.
Yeah, no, I talked to Snickers about it.
What about Shaq?
You is a snicker.
What?
Shaq, I convinced of the cure.
What?
Shaq, I convinced of the cure for feline AIDS.
Well, let him know to stop by my place. He has the cure.
Do you have feline AIDS?
No, it's fine. Anyway, fuck a fake king. Fuck a Yarnie.
Fuck a Yarnie.
Whoa!
Oh.
Whoa! That
Whoa.
coded
Yarnie.
language? Yo, what the fuck?
Fuck a Yarnie.
Spank Engine hit me up. Deals on deck.
When you say spank engine hit me up, do you mean that? How do you mean that?
I mean, send me a text message or call me via cellular device, and we can discuss trades.
Possibly even more.
Yeah, that's
Sounds
right.
like he's asking.
Definitely more.
Okay, well, thank you for watching this episode of Harambedome.
Oh my God, Sean, there's that emotion we've been looking for.
See you next week. Bye.